comic book reviews. We got a bunch of them. I think there are 7 things here, and it's a heavy DC comic week, as you guys are seeing. So 6 things from DC Comics that we'll get into, and then 1 thing from Image with Skinbreaker. Let's talk about Absolute Wonder Woman. Guys, Absolute Wonder Woman 15. So sick. This is the Absolute team up, the first one in the Absolute universe. What I really liked about this issue, of course, you got the Hayden Sherman artwork, right? It's got the Jordi Belair writing. I really enjoyed, the Jordi Belair coloring and the Kelly Thompson writing. Just this team up, man, of this Absolute Wonder Woman and this Absolute Batman. You'd think that they would kind of brush up against each other a little more, like maybe this Absolute Batman would be more combative, but I kind of read it as this Absolute Batman is so like interested, and he's heard about this Absolute Wonder Woman obviously from the news and stuff like that. Absolute Batman does his research, right? So he is not like a I don't know, he's not like worried about this Absolute, like he can kind of trust her, right? Just from the little that he does know about her. And then he's just so interested from a magic perspective. He's always asking like, define magic, right? So he's just like more intrigued than anything. He doesn't see this Absolute Wonder Woman character as a threat, which I quite enjoyed. And then yeah, you get this great team up as Diana is trying to investigate some of these murders. The murders are in Gotham City. She doesn't want to step on Batman's toes, right? She knows that it's kind of his turf, so she lights the bat signal to get his attention, and they kind of start their adventure. And this is going to be a first part of the team up, so you're going to have to read Absolute Batman. Probably says it in the back. Pretty good stuff, like action packed, as we see someone trying to possess Diana to try to kill Absolute Batman. So kind of a trap was trying to be set. We know that the next team up, they will meet again in Absolute Batman number 16. So that's just excellent stuff, man. I'm loving this Absolute Batman series. What a fun time reading this. Sorry, the Absolute Wonder Woman series. But the fact that they're linking up, I mean, that's just so sick, dude. That's what I wanted from the Absolute universe. Just more and more of this like interweaving. Because for the longest time, it seems like the Absolute universe's titles are just kind of going on their own. But I want to see them start like intermixing and kind of showing that there is like this larger world and they all kind of connect. So that's what I'm looking forward to coming up very shortly, dude. XXE in the chat says, I love Absolute Wonder Woman. I think it's my favorite ongoing right now. I really think it is. Especially from DC. Like I think it's my easy pick for favorite DC ongoing. I'm just really loving this Absolute Wonder Woman title. I have the some original art from issue number 1. No biggie. I like to drop that every now and then. It's pretty cool. Some Hayden Sherman original. But yeah, so let's get into, there's 3 Absolute titles this week. So let's get into the next one with Absolute Martian Manhunter, issue number 7, the series that's back from its little mini hiatus. We know that, Dennis Camp and Javier Rodriguez, they're hot off the series. They were like, hey, can we get some time to chillax, and get ready for the next one. So this one was really good as we see this John Jones character. He's still a little separated from his wife. Things are not all hunky-dory. There's still kind of this strain in their relationships that we know from the first arc. So we see this John Jones character. He's hanging out at the motel, chain smoking cigs. It's such a look though, dude. Like, listen, smoking's terrible, kid. Smoking's awful. You don't want to be smoking. It's no good. But damn, if this John Jones character doesn't make it look cool, man. I'm telling you, he looks good, dude, while he's doing it. We still get that wacky sort of artwork that we know and love from Javier Rodriguez, and that kind of setup from Dennis Camp as we see this John Jones character kind of wondering what to do next. And there's this presence of the White Martian still out there. But more than that, this John Jones character is trying to understand what this Martian is. So we get sort of an origin story as we see this comet flying through the sky. It's bouncing off stuff, splits off, and we see the White Martian zooming out as well as the Green Martian zooming out. So kind of the origin of these alien sort of presences in this Absolute universe. And yeah, just another great issue of this series. And we get another great, because we know that the White Martian has, kind of possessed his kid, which we haven't seen the fallout of that. It's going to be kind of the overarching kind of villain of the arc, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, we get another, see if I can even show it to you guys. No, no, not really. Can you do it on my face, dude? Does this make any sense, dude? Hold on. Another great, he did this in the first issue, and I quite enjoy every time he pulls this off. Can you guys see it now? Okay, well, if you can't, it's essentially just John Jones' character still kind of being with his wife or wishing that he could be with his wife. You see them kind of cuddling, which I really found to be a pretty compelling sort of use of that see-through gimmick that Dennis Camp has been doing from time to time in the series. And yeah, dude. So another great issue with Absolute Martian Manhunter, issue 7. If you guys aren't picking up the series, you really gotta, especially in the Absolute universe. It's up there. It's like my second favorite, dude. It's right after Absolute Wonder Woman. So, yeah, dude. XXU in the chat says smoking gives you aura, though. Listen, I'm not gonna deny it. I mean, he's got aura for sure, dude. I missed this series so badly, for sure. The months that this series was not coming out, and we had to wait for it. Those were pretty brutal. Like there was a absolute Martian Manhunter size hole left in everybody's pull list for sure. Lamoro in the chat says, if Absolute Martian Manhunter officially ends after this arc, do you think he should still show up in the other series, or should it be the end of the character? Man, Lamoro, that's a great question. I hope that this Absolute Martian Manhunter character continues no matter what, but you almost don't want to see it in the hands of an, not that it's like bad to pass off the character, right? But you almost don't want to see Dennis Camp and Javier Rodriguez let go of this character that they've had so much success with. So, man, I hope it keeps going. It would feel so weird if it ends, especially when series like Assorted Christ Events have said that those are ongoings. So like that's gonna keep going. Ultimates is ending, right? So if you got Ultimates ending, the whole Ultimate Universe ending just in general, are we going to see, and with this series ending as well, are we going to see Dennis Camp go to Marvel? Maybe he'll do some more Marvel stuff, or is he going to stay kind of on the DC side? We know he has the Vertigo title coming out. A lot of questions, dude. A lot of questions. I don't like thinking about this series ending. That's really sad, dude. Omega Slice in the chat says, sup everybody, happy Monday. Hope the holidays treated you well. Thank you, dude. Thank you. And hope the holidays have treated everybody in the chat well. Thank you guys for tuning in on this Monday, talking about some comic books. Always a fun time, dude. So yeah, so that's the review for Absolute Martian Manhunter. Pretty good. Not as good as Absolute Wonder Woman. This one lived up to the hype for sure. So those were my picks of the week. But we got to talk about Absolute Superman as well, because this one was excellent. Did I get the trade paperback / hardcover for Absolute Martian Manhunter? I have been avoiding the trades and the hardcovers just because I have them in singles. So I'm not like in a rush to recollect them, because I'm not like in a rush to reread them like that. You know what I mean? Like I can reread them digitally using the app if I ever need to, or just pull out the singles. But yes, I haven't gotten the trades or the hardcovers. I probably should, just as a collector. I guess I'm waiting for like a deluxe or like an Omni or something, but it might be a while. I'll wait for that. But yeah, dude, let's talk Absolute Superman. What a powerful emotional issue as we see the Battle of Smallville. I mean, I'm not going to lie and say that the Battle of Smallville, like it had some really epic moments in this, and I love the way it concluded, although maybe a little bit, not underbaked, that's not the right word, because the whole Battle of Smallville has been leading up for quite a number of issues. It's just like the way it ended, it was kind of just like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? Like the fighting with the swords, and the battle itself between Ra's al Ghul, this final one. But I still like the overall message of the issue and Superman kind of overcoming this. I don't know what's gonna happen to Ra's al Ghul, but look at this battle, the fighting, dude, of the swords. Like if you guys are missing out on Absolute Superman, it's got some really, really hype ass moments, and I just really like this emo sad boy Superman. It really works for me, and it gets really emo and really sad in this one. As we see after the defeat of Ra's al Ghul, Superman is still kind of trying to figure out his place in the world, but he decides to visit Smallville Senior Living, where we know Martha Kent has been, living. Turns out she died the night previous, dude. But she left this Absolute Superman a gift, the gift of like a new suit that she was putting together, and it's really heartbreaking because she was suffering from dementia. So for her to kind of take this like step and show this love for this character that, you know, he thought that maybe like forgot all about him, or didn't mean as much to as much to them as they meant to him. But we obviously see that this note from Martha and Jonathan, if you guys can see that, for our angel, our lost son Clark Kent. So yeah, we'll have to see if this Kal-El takes up that Clark Kent kind of moniker, just that life he never lived, man. So it's just really, really heartbreaking stuff. Yeah, he's really going through it in this series, but I'm really kind of jiving with it. He's still trying to be the Superman we know and love in this world that wants nothing to do with him. So really, really loving it. Absolute Superman, excellent stuff. XXE in the chat says, I got you. I gave 1 through 3 away to my friends, so I had to get the hardcover. That's fair, dude. Yeah, if you've been like loaning out your single issues, for sure, you got to collect them in some way. Like, you got to have them in your collection in some format, right? So that makes sense. Let's talk about the conclusion of Green Arrow. Man, if you guys haven't been tuning into this Green Arrow series from Chris Condon, you have been missing out. But I'm not gonna say I didn't tell you guys. I've been preaching this series praises ever since Chris Condon took it over, making multiple videos about it. It's been in multiple top 10s for me and Kai Bucks, and I've been saying nothing but great things every single week that it's out. This is an excellent way to cap off the series. It's not action packed by any means. It's really just Green Arrow having this conversation with the detective lady from earlier in the couple issues we've seen her, and she's been trying to help Green Arrow out, and they've been going back and forth. And we find out that this girl, when she was little, she had a previous run-in with Green Arrow. So she kind of tells Ollie, like, hey, I got to be honest with you, this isn't the first time we met. Like, you inspired me so much as a kid. You're what led me to joining the police force. And it's just like this really like uplifting and kind of hopeful moment. And it's just like the ripple effects that like one good act can do. It's like the purpose of being a superhero, like all distilled down into one issue. And I think this is like potentially one of the single issues of the year. I really kind of fell in love with it. So yeah, I definitely recommend collecting this series in any way possible. If you guys, are trying to check out this series in trades, if you guys are, if it's coming out in hardcovers, I don't even know. But the fact that this series has been canceled, so sad, man. It had a lot of room to grow. Chris Condon and Montos just killing it all the way throughout. We have Derek Seaborn in the chat saying, your channel is a breath of fresh air. So many comic review channels have become so toxic. Yeah, dude. I try to keep the positivity going on this channel. I really don't talk about things unless I love them, which is so easy, right? I mean, that's just like, if you're passionate about the hobby and you're talking about things in a positive way, people respond to it as long as, that's what I found. So yeah, thank you guys for all the support, man, especially for stopping in on a live, talking about some comic book reviews. Let's talk about some DCKO tie-ins. We have Lex Luthor versus the Demon for Superman issue 33. All the battle itself is kind of like whatever, but it's just like another examination of Lex Luthor, this character, from writer Josh Williamson. He's been kind of poking and prodding and kind of peeling back, like, what does Lex Luthor mean to DC, and kind of what is Lex Luthor's like purpose in this whole universe, right? Williamson has been kind of chipping away at that the entire series. So another look at that, this kind of dynamic between this Lex Luthor fighting Etrigan the Demon. They're all switching forms. All the DCKO Fight Night stuff that I've read have been pretty enjoyable. I missed out on some of them. Like, I didn't pick up the Wonder Woman Lobo. I read that on DC Universe Infinite. I probably won't pick it up in single issues. I didn't read the Jason Todd Joker one. The Aquaman one I didn't read, or the Cyborg Swamp Thing I didn't read either. So I'll catch those on the app. But I found the ones that I've had read to be quite enjoyable. So in behind the scenes, though, we also get Lois Lane and Superboy Prime. They're on their mission they're on their own side mission to stop the DCKO stuff from happening. We know Booster Gold has been taken over by Darkseid potentially. So Lois Lane and Superboy Prime, along with like a cyborgy type of Superman from the Fortress of Solitude, they're trying to race to the Trapper to help him to stop the Booster Gold from taking over and all that stuff. So anyways, DCKO has been real fun. Another fun entry into it. If you're a Lex Luthor type of person, like I'm sure you'll enjoy this. Peeling back the layers of Lex Luthor for sure, dude. Let's continue with the comic book reviews because we have a DCKO tie-in. This is the Terrific 10 Part 3. We know Mr. Terrific has a team of superheroes going to do a mission that no one else can really do. Because the members of this team are time displaced, they're technically a little bit more expendable. If they die, they're not going to have any ripple effects on the future or the past. So Mr. Terrific's like, hey, you guys got to come into hell with me and try to do a deal with the devil or something like that. Something to do with DCKO. It's like a little side mission that Mr. Terrific's going on. So yeah, we go down. At the same time, we know that but Red Tornado is kind of leading the Justice League from above. They're still trying to evacuate everybody due to the fallout of DCKO. So there's a lot of moving parts in this DC universe right now, and a main part of it is this Justice League Unlimited series. It's kind of been like the spine, like running through the DC universe, like all the events and stuff. They kind of tie into this series, and I've been kind of loving the fact that it has such like a prominent place in DC's sort of catalog. It's like it's the backbone of the DC universe right now, and it's kind of cool seeing all the teams like split up and kind of going on their own missions. It makes the DC universe feel kind of well lived in. Like all the superheroes are out doing their own thing, as opposed to like, oh, I wonder what like Kid Flash is doing. Like Kid Flash appears in this, and he's just in a panel or two, and he's doing a mission for Red Tornado. So that kind of stuff is really cool. Feels very classic. Feels like the show. So yeah, Justice League Unlimited has been really stepping it up. Once they get away from the We Are Yesterday stuff, I wasn't a fan of, but that first arc of this and like the was it the second arc maybe? Everything besides the We Are Yesterday, that kind of like took all the wind out of the sails of the series. But other than that, we've been ripping. It's a lot of fun. So Justice League Unlimited has been really great stuff. Definitely recommend it. If you're like a DC, if you're into like the overall meta narrative DC, you'll have a ton of fun with this one. The last thing that we are reviewing today is Skinbreaker issue number 4. Gotta be honest with you, I'm not sure where this series is going. I was liking where Robert Kirkman was taking us. Obviously, you get the great artwork from David Finch. I could spend a whole hour talking about it. Look how detailed it is. So the way that David Finch has been doing the art for the series, okay? You know how like an artist will take one kind of flat board, like it's however big it is, and they do all the art on that, right? David Finch takes one of those boards, flips it on its side, and he tapes 3 of them together, and he does the full art on that. So that's why he's able to go in with so much detail. And yeah, it's just incredible stuff from David Finch. A real like career benchmark achievement. Like this is like some of the best art in comics right now. I would say the story though from Robert Kirkman, I'm just like, oh, what's going on? Like we got this chief guy. He's the protagonist of the story. He was younger in issue number 1 and 2. Issue number 3 was a time jump, so now he's like the older chief, and this other young guy is trying to step up to him, challenge him as the chief. If he wins the battle, then he becomes the new chief. So like there's that tension there. This chief is really focused on kind of helping his tribe in other ways that this guy thinks are bad. Like he's kind of stuck in the old ways. He's kind of the faction of the tribe that's stuck in their old ways. They don't like to see all these technological improvements and like, traps instead of going out to hunt literally and like risking your life. Like, why don't we trap the animal? And then you get all the benefits of trapping the animal, but you don't risk yourself, right? Or advances in like getting water from one place to another, like these aqueduct technology and stuff like that. Like they all see that as not a great way to live, and it kind of sets them back. So that's like the main struggle in this series so far. But in the middle, at the end of the battle, we see our chief guy like run away and kind of be cowardly. He like runs into the woods. He like strips down naked, and to me, it's kind of like showing great shame, I guess. And he's maybe like relinquishing the title of chief. Just a weird way to end the issue, and yeah, not like the biggest fan of the way it ended, and kind of waiting for it to, like, I don't know where it's going. So I'm kind of confused by that. But yeah, so Skinbreaker issue number 4, weird way to end this issue. And I don't know what to think about the rest of the series. So yeah, interesting stuff there. But that's what we got, dude. So Skinbreaker, we got some DCKO tie-ins, the end of an era for Green Arrow, excellent stuff there, and then 3 excellent Absolute Universe titles. But that pick of the week, you know, it's got to go to the Absolute Team Up. Honestly, this might be a hot take. Absolute Superman might be the number 2 of the week, followed very closely by Absolute Martian Manhunter. Excellent issue, of course, but this one just like really hit for me, dude. I was crying by the end of it when Superman was pulling his new suit out of the box from his mom that he never had, really. And that was just really emotional for me, man. So I loved it. Excellent stuff, dude. So that's what we got for the comic book reviews of the week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed.